Social impact investing is looking at venture capital as a way to invest in startups that are tackling certain social issues. And for us, we have four priority social issues that we look at, and they're healthy youth development, academic learning and achievement, resilient communities, and economic opportunity. And so we look for early stage startups that reside within those four key areas for us. American Family, for a while now, and I've had the privilege of being a part of that, has engaged in corporate and social responsibility for a long time. Because I think the key to what we're trying to do is create sustainable communities, sustainable from an environmental standpoint, but financially sustainable, thriving communities. And you have to look at the economics of that. And so if we are able to invest in a way or partner in a way with organizations that are already working in this space to provide um, full economic inclusion to individuals and communities that have not been able to participate, whether it's workforce development, whether it's access to financial services, if we are able to raise the economic base of a community, that naturally leads to better education. You raise the tax bracket of that community, and then you have a community that's able to fully engage. A big part of our economic inclusion is looking at this issue of criminal justice reform. So if you look at the workforce potential of formerly incarcerated individuals, and you think about workforce shortages that we're seeing, you have a whole population of individuals that could be, with the right access and opportunity to resources, workforce ready. If we think about attracting talent, if we think about Wisconsin wanting to be this place where people want to come, diversity is the one part of that, but I think there's an inclusion aspect. So if I move into a community, what is available to me in that community in terms of recreational opportunities, cultural opportunities that connect to who I am as an individual. I think there's a recognition that businesses have an obligation to the communities. I believe American Family is tackling this a little differently in that we are looking at multiple pronged approaches to how we engage in this space. We are looking to engage closely on these issues and be at the table in terms of having conversations to drive change and influence change.
I think in the Midwest, when it comes to educational innovation, I think most people would say that all of the northern Midwest states are lagging other parts of the country. Other states are doing more strategically around us, Minnesota being one, where they're trying to attract educators to their state because schools are finding that, school districts are finding it's very hard to identify really solid people to come teach in their schools. In Wisconsin, a couple of things that I think we could do, or we really need to do to start. One is we have to have a strategy around early childhood education. If we want to attract people to this state, it would be a game changer if they came to this state and knew that if they either have a family now, a young family now, or have a family, they want to build a family here later, that there would be resources to help them with the cost of early childhood education. We found that not only could we help create an opportunity to help prepare Wisconsin's future workforce earlier, we could also help stabilize families and give people a reason to want to stay and build a family. Families create stability for communities. People who come here just to work and they're working 2 years and then they leave, that doesn't create stability for the community, it's families. So the more we can do to anchor families and resources that are needed to stabilize their families and better prepare their children, the better off Wisconsin will be. There's been still quite a bit of work on looking at the economic benefits of early childhood education and what happens to a community when you have children that are more prepared. Just talk about the children that are better prepared for school. We've seen that in our school where kids have been in our school, our preschool, starting at age 2 and forward. We have mostly students of color come to our school, mostly African American. There's no achievement gap between them and their student peers, either in Madison or elsewhere, now in our first grade. So we're seeing some early signs, but you can better prepare children. And better prepared children are going to be also better prepared not only for the workforce, but becoming future entrepreneurs. The other thing is the stability that it does provide, the attractability it provides to families, the stable workforce that it provides. for families. It allows business to not only attract but keep people there longer. So businesses benefit, but the economic impact that the future workforce has on the future growth of the state, and you're talking about now tax base, increasing the tax base in the state, it is shown that the greatest benefit to any state is the investment that it puts in its children.